Hello everybody, my name is Andrey. You're watching Restaurant and Research. In today's video, I wrote down a few notes, and in today's video I would like to talk about sort of this abstract idea of why do we eat? As customers, as guests, why do we go to a certain place, and what is it that we're searching? Well, the answer to this question, the way I thought about it, really lies in the question. So the question is, why do we go out to eat? Well, I think we don't have to look that far, and we can look right at the question. The question is, why do we go out to eat? Really, there's two reasons why anybody would go to an establishment that serves food. Those will include a combination of going out, right? Going out of your place of where you live, going out of your place of work, to go somewhere, to meet with somebody, to experience something. And the last part is to eat. After all, the restaurants and cafes and they do serve food, and we are there to quite simply eat. So I've broken down my idea a little bit further here. So I came with four basic sort of restaurant ideas and the first one is the very basic level. At the very basic level, is we go out to a place for the very simple reason to satisfy our hunger. We can go to places like McDonald's, Save On Kitchen. It's a grocery store kitchen that provides some hot food. Tim Hortons. We go to places like these to perhaps sometimes you meet friends for coffee, but really the idea of going there is to quite simply to satisfy your hunger. You're not expecting much. A roast chicken is roast chicken. A coffee double is a double. There's no surprises there. There's usually a pretty simple menu satisfying a pretty basic need. Now this on the next level, and of course at each one of these levels, I think it is important to recognize which level you're on, what type of a problem you're trying to solve, and to be able to provide this similar service. Now, for example, imagine a McDonald's restaurant that has waiters that have ties on their necks. They're wearing a blazer or coat. They call you sir. They pour you sparkling wine or soda and bring it to you. Like, that is not what McDonald's is striving for, right? You get your food at the counter, you sit down, you clean up after yourself. You have disposable cups. It's very, not to say that it's not luxurious, but it's very, it's a sort of transactional, how would we explain that? Transactional sort of commodity, right? It's like filling up your gas tank and off you go, right? It's very sort of industrial. It's not very personal, though I'm glad you do get served by people, which is a nice touch. But so there are places like that. Again, there's nothing wrong with no place is better than the other. But as a future restaurant owner, I think it's very important to recognize what service, what kind of customer and the customer experience you're going for, and trying to be able to match that crystal clearly. So that is the first level, Tim Hortons, McDonald's, Save On Kitchens. The next level from that, the way I picture it, is satisfactory eating, what I call it. Eating for the same purposes as before, but with some form of flavor, novelty, excitement. It goes for you, and all of that goes for the interior, the ambience, the service. And what I mean by that is all of a sudden you find yourself perhaps at a restaurant or a diner that is maybe is a mom and pop shop or a chain restaurant, for example, Earl's or Milestones or Cactus Club, and sort of those type of places. Um, all of a sudden you get a plush booth to sit in. You get cutlery and silverware, and ceramic cups, and proper plates. All of a sudden you have more customizable interior. Maybe you have some paintings on the wall. Maybe you have a waiter, a waitress. Not to mention, of course, the full menu, but and alcoholic beverages. But there's a little bit more comfort. There's a little more curiosity involved. You may look around, notice some things. Maybe there's a bouquet of flowers somewhere in the corner. So that is sort of the second level, where you may go there to meet with somebody, have a lunch, professional lunch, or take your family out. But it's still, you know what's on the menu, you know what to expect. Everything's sort of, it's a step above from McDonald's and Tim Hortons, but it's still sort of almost sterile, perhaps because it's corporate, right? Everything sort of has to be the chicken Alfredo or her chicken parm or whatever it may be, is still sort of perhaps made in a factory. I don't know. Maybe the chef in the back is making it from scratch, but it's still a little bit sterile. But it's a step up nonetheless. So that is sort of the second level. The third level is what I call an elevated experience. Includes restaurants that are highly custom. And what I mean by that is you find one-off menu things, menu items. You find one-off decorations. You find one-off drinks and wines by the glass and by the lid, from exciting regions. Places like that almost capture the essence of the chef or the owner. You find even more sort of custom detail running through. Maybe the chairs are an interesting and particular shape. The music that's playing is not on the radio, or maybe that you don't hear every day. Something, or the view is maybe you're not downtown on a busy street. Maybe you're somewhere, on a cliff top or on a hilltop, or somewhere that is a little bit more reflective of the restaurateur, the owner. The staff perhaps are a little more friendly. It's more and more of a custom experience. There's seasonal items. Again, because they're not a chain, the chef has, or a maitre d', or somebody, or anybody really at the restaurant who's in charge and calls the shots, is able to provide more of a reflective experience, reflective of their surroundings, of the character of the owner. It is a little more humane, if I may. It's not, again, not to say that it's better or worse, but it is more sort of reflective of our own individual characters as humans. And places like that include some of the restaurants that I have worked at. I've worked worked at the Basic, at the Satisfactory Eating that I call restaurants. I worked at Boston Pizza, Milestones, sometimes as a dishwasher, sometimes as a salad cook. I worked at Tim Hortons. I worked at all these establishments, and of course I worked at what I call the next level, the elevated experience, Corso 32 and Mission Hill here in Kelowna. I have worked at these places, and they're definitely the reflection of the chef owner. They're great. They're great. And what I have to say about that level of a restaurant, the food is more refined and clean. The room has more character and is a reflection of the owner. Pretty much what I just have said. And then here we have level 4. To my understanding, Level 4 is at the highest possible level. These restaurants are at the peak of their game. They run above all of the others with their style of food as well as the service. Most likely, they're sort of the highest caliber and quality in your city or your region. So now that we have discussed sort of the levels, again, as chef owners, as the maitre d's, as the people who want to start and run these restaurants, I think it is important to reflect, what is it that you want to provide? Do you want to become a franchise owner, buy out rights to run a McDonald's, KFC, and be in business of food, but be in business of business, really? Because of course the menu is controlled, the ambience is, everything's controlled. Or do you want to start from scratch? Do you want to find a niche in your community? Do you want to find the clients that you would want to serve? Because the people who go to McDonald's for a cup of coffee, such as myself, are not looking for anything except the coffee. When I go to places like Mission Hill or Course 32, on the other hand, I go to try something new. I go to interact with the waiter, with the waitress, to find out what's fresh, what's exciting. I go to places like that for the view. Mission Hill has a fantastic, absolutely stunning dining room. Overlooks Lake Okanagan. Quite beautifully done. The Terrace is the name of the restaurant. Quite gorgeous room. I go there to interact with drink some new wine, perhaps impress a date. Any of those things, right? Who do you impress going to McDonald's? You go there to satisfy your hunger. So, and then to piggyback off of the restaurants, what about the clientele, right? We have to find the clientele that is willing to pay for the tier 4, 3, 2, 1, and open at that level. Some argue that level 1, right, your quick food establishment, limited food service, is the most broad. It's the most basic. Everybody has the desire to be sort of satisfied on the very primal level. Then some people have enough money to spend on level 2, right, to go for a plate of pasta, to go out for a rack of ribs. Even less people have, and there are even less establishments at level 3 that are mom and pop run, quality driven, perhaps seasonal. There's even less of those. And then level 4, right? Maybe there's level 5 that I haven't conceived of yet. But the higher we go in our quality and execution level, I think the less people there are to serve. But so to wrap up this video, I think it's important to realize who is your clientele, what level they're looking for, who are you, what level are you willing to cook at, and then to match that appropriately. Because if you open a fast food restaurant with fine dining ambitions, right, but you climb once level 3, so what is it that you're looking to achieve? Confusion. So it is all of this is to say that business plan is important. I'm building that right now. I'm finding out about the region, who's eating here, where do they want to eat, who's the competition, and I'm just really excited to get it all going, to share with you guys the plan, the journey. How do you go from a red seal to a restaurant owner? So all of these things are in my head, driving me a little bit nuts. So I'm glad to have an outlet such as this. Yeah, guys, just building my dream of becoming a restaurant owner and doing some good for the industry. That is my number one priority. So anyways, this video has been on the levels of the restaurant. What is it that we're looking to do, and how do we do it? So I hope you got some value out of this video. Comment, let me know what you think. This has been Andrey with Restaurant and Research. Thank you for watching. Bye now.